Hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm Jerrel. I develop games for a living. Today I'm going to share my analysis on the Final Fantasy VII Revelation reveal trailer. I'm a couple days late on this because I was out camping and enjoying some adventuring. When I grew up playing games like Final Fantasy VII, it inspired me to go out and have real adventures. That's something I really love doing, so I'm a couple days late on this. If you'd like to see what my camping trip looked like, here's a really quick snippet. I'm going to do a pizza in there later on.
You all right, Jerrel?
Yeah. Grab my stand. I've got citronella oil burning in this.
You think you're the queen of the underground?
She give us one. I don't smoke. You know you love one because I don't drink.
Right, so this is very exciting. I'm going to just take a quick look, or a close look, at the reveal trailer here. There's also a gameplay trailer, so I'll set a viewing target. If this video hits 10,000 views, then I will do an analysis video on the gameplay trailer. So share the video around, and if you enjoy this video and if you want to see me do further coverage on 7 Revelation, then share the video. And if we hit 10,000, I'll do another video to follow up. Okay, let's take a look here. Got a nice look at outer space, just giving us a hint of the supernova that's to come. I do like that, starting at the stars and then sort of panning down to the planet. That's where Genova comes from. That's where Meteor comes from. And so we see this really haunting image here of it looks like these guys that also were experimented on, you know, the guys that had the numbers tattooed on them. They're going towards the reunion. That seems like what that is for. And this is such a haunting image. It's very almost biblical looking. We have Sephiroth with his one wing, and it looks like he finally gets to plant that kiss on Cloud that he has been dying for the past 2 games now. Really interesting scene here. I'm not exactly sure what this is from, what the context is here, but something about this feels pre-rendered. If you take a look at the detail density on Cloud's his wool, or it looks like his wool shirt here, there's a bit more fidelity to it than there is in the gameplay. You can see the fibers coming off of it. This to me looks very pre-rendered. We have a lot of fine detail on the feathers here. This feels like something that maybe they would not have put that much detail density in the gameplay. This could still be gameplay, but this feels pre-rendered to me here. Let's see. Interesting, and I do like the music that they have here. I like the ever-present Meteor. Oh, this is great. Look at the way that the clouds catch the light of Meteor. It helps convey a sense of closeness. The fact that the clouds are here for a spatial reference. Ooh, very nicely done. I do like that. Emitting this gorgeously ominous red light. Fantastic. I wanted to see a bit more of the particle effects of the meteor entering the atmosphere and those sort of solar flare type effects to it. And that, is this Shinra headquarters? Most likely, yeah, that looked like, I thought I saw the Shinra logo on that. Something that wastes a lot of time in these trailers is that black screen, you know. So here we have the weapons climbing out of the planet. And this is what has got me interested in this, in Revelation so far, is it seems like there's a narrative focus on the weapons themselves, and that's something that interests me. I'm really off-put by just the arbitrary addition of extra things. Just add more and more and more because we need to pad these games out. So that just arbitrary additions really are really off-putting to me. But organic expansion, which is just letting the content breathe and grow and expand on its own and exploring things that already exist, such as the weapons, that is very interesting to me. That is an attractive concept proposition. So I am interested in seeing the narrative exploration of the weapons here. So let's just take a look at the environments here. What have we got? Anything worth note? I do like the use of particle effects that make this environment feel ethereal, magical in some way. Maybe they're bits of the life stream that are pouring out from the environment. That's kind of what that conveys to me here. Let's see if we can get another look at these characters. Okay, so hold on one second here. Okay, we have... So I don't see Vincent in this group lineup here, and I'm wondering why Vincent is absent. I'm wondering why we don't have the big pink Mog. I didn't play Rebirth, so maybe when they shrink the temple down, they lose the pink Mog, which that'd be a bummer. I really like that guy. I do like the wind effects. You can even see the fur blowing, causing Cait Sith's fur to billow in the wind. No, I will not pronounce it Ketchi the correct way. I was a kid when I played this game, and his name looked like Cait Sith to me, so I don't care if I'm wrong. I will be saying it Cait Sith. I will not say it the correct way. You can't make me. I don't know how they say it in the game either. I didn't play Rebirth. I do like the wind effects, the physics simulation. It gives this air of dramatic flair to it. But there is a point later on in the trailer where the wind billowing effect is not so good. We're going to see it as Cloud jumps out of the high wind here. So these are interesting sails. What interesting, whatever they're trying to convey there. Maybe it helps stabilize it in the wind, perhaps? Let's see here. Anything of interest? Oh, the gold armor goes all the way up the arm. I'm interested in the future. If people are interested, I would like to do an episode comparing the original Final Fantasy VII designs to these remake designs. Something I noticed about Vincent is there's way more gold armor, and he really sticks out. And at first I thought, this just doesn't fit in with this world. It doesn't feel right. Why does he look like this medieval knight? But I think it's purposefully to make him feel like he doesn't belong there, to make him stand out more like he doesn't really belong in this world, which is kind of how he personally feels. And it's part of his identity and his characters that he doesn't really belong. And I think it's, having seen some of his transformations, I didn't like all of the extra armor at first, but I do actually like it now because you can see the armor present on his transformations, and that kind of visual cohesion is interesting to me. I like to see that. I like, what a cool ninja twisty flip here. I do enjoy the articulation on Yushi's arm armor, if you would like. She does a real big twist. The pink Moogle is gone. I'm feeling some degree of disappointment. I'm feeling some degree of disappointment. Where is it? And I just like this whole planking is so 2012, dude, but here's Vincent just planking his way down. Now let's take a look at Cloud's hair as it billows through the wind, and you're going to see some technical imperfections on that. There's a real judderiness and a stuttering to his hair. Have a look just here. It looks like the model is sort of like it's changing too quickly between frames just there. You know, even for a second it looks like a total model replacement, and it's not. It's just reacting with physics simulation with the wind, but it doesn't look right. It's not organic. So that is an interesting technical flaw. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's something that's not important, but it's something that as developers we have to notice, and we have to decide, hey, is this worth spending the time and the resources fixing that? Because something like that, it seems simple. You know, you think, oh, just adjust some numbers. No. You adjust some numbers, you could break a bunch of stuff. So something like that, you need to determine, hey man, we've got 1,000 other things that we've got to make in this game. is that worth fixing? You're going to notice a technical flaw here as well. You would think this is a level of detail issue. As the camera gets closer to geometry, the geometry gets higher quality, but this to me does not look like that. This to me looks like it is streaming the asset in real time. So how this game works and how many modern games of this presentation style work is they load in a low quality version of an asset, whether that be the 3D model or its 2D textures. And what is happening is whenever it's possible, whenever it's available, it's just going to try and load the assets in while the game is running. This is occurring because for some reason we're loadophobic these days, and it's like we hate loading screens, and I feel like loadophobia is getting out of hand. I am happy to have a loading screen. I would much prefer a loading screen rather than have this. So keep your eye here on the scene here. You're going to see a sudden flickering of the geometry as it changes from its low quality asset to its high quality asset. There, you see those plants? There's multiple plants. I'll do it again. Keep an eye in this area. You'll see the plants flicker and they suddenly become higher quality. Okay, so in this situation, that does actually look like it is a level of detail situation where it is switching to a higher quality asset. So there's a mixture of that. As you play Rebirth and Remake, you will see that as it's a combination of the two. There's LODs switching from a low LOD to a higher, and then there's loading in the assets. So it seems in this situation that looks like LOD, or level of detail. And there are ways to transition from one LOD to another smoothly. There's a solution. I think this is using SpeedTree. I'm not entirely sure. SpeedTree is a solution that exists on the market that allows you, that it's a foliage solution. You create foliage in SpeedTree and then you use that as an optimized solution in your games. There is a transition method between LODs so you can smoothly transition. So it's a gradual fade rather than just this pop-in. But there's a performance cost to the transition fade as well. If this is running on the PS5, I would expect it to look better than this, than that. So that's something that I would mark that down a point, because the presentation is a mark against the quality of the presentation. It takes me out of it a fair bit. And I say that because it shouldn't be that way. If you're on the best quality hardware, which, you know, like the PS5 Pro or the PC or what have you, your presentation needs to be good, and something like that is not good. If this was on the Switch 2, I'd let it pass, because the Switch 2 is not as strong as PS5, and I'm willing to make concessions for that. But something like that, I think we need to do a better job than that, especially since this is coming from, you know, the multi-billion-dollar AAA industry. It needs to be better than that. It's one thing for indies, for independent developers who are basically making these games and funding it out of pocket. It's one thing for smaller developers who don't have huge funding. Okay, we let technical things like that slide because they don't have huge budgets, right? This is prestige. This is a prestige franchise that the presentation needs to be better than that. And it's one of the things that's a little off-putting to me about Rebirth, is that there's a lot of technical flaws like that. And I've seen people comment and tell me that it's like that on the PS5 Pro as well. It's a little disappointing. And when I say a little disappointing, I mean hugely disappointing. Okay, so we get to see Vincent. This is very cool. I like this very much. I've seen the developers say that you get to freely transform. And here's where I bring up those visual motifs. The gold armor is present on his transform. It just builds a sense of visual cohesion, visual identity, that it's identifiably this is Vincent. Sort of the red accents on the mane here help remind you, yo, this is your dude, Vincent. He was always one of my favorite characters in Final Fantasy VII. Punch that bird. What are these cool wibbledy wobbledy things? That's a neat effect. I quite like that. Okay. It's not necessarily just a particle effect. That looks like geometry. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. And the actual trailer, which I will link to, looks better. This is heavily compressed. I just downloaded the video. Okay, so Vincent doing a kick. He does kicks now. Okay. casting some magic. Very cool. We got Cid here, summoning his Leviathan or whatever his thing is called, and he does his magical attack with his... So Cid was the old guy in Final Fantasy VII, and when I was a kid, I saw him as the old dude, right? And I believe he's 32. I'm older than Cid, and it doesn't feel good. I'm much older than Cid now. I don't like it. So there is a dress sphere system, and I believe the reason why they brought the dress sphere system back, and if you're not familiar with that, it's from Final Fantasy X-2, where the storyline of Final Fantasy X-2 was to collect clothes and find a boyfriend, and that was the storyline of Final Fantasy X-2. Collect clothes, find a boyfriend. And when you change your clothes, it changed your job. I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a massive enjoyer of job systems. Final Fantasy V and III are among my favorites because of the job systems. Tactics, you know where it's at. I love a good job system. And I don't use the word love lightly, but boy howdy, I do enjoy a job system. So I believe the reason why they've introduced a job system so that certain characters can now change their archetype to be more magic-based. There's going to be spoilers here. If you have never heard of Final Fantasy VII, you're going to want to mute the video for the next minute or so. 30 seconds. The reason why they have introduced this to allow characters to be more magic-based is because Aerith is no longer in the party, and she was your big magic user. She had the best magic casting ability, and so I feel that in order to fill the gap, because Aerith is no longer in the party, you've got to have other characters that can fill that role. I always thought Yuffie was a good replacement. She was quite a good magic caster, so this just gives you more creative freedom because now you're not stuck to just relying on Yuffie being your main magic caster. You can have Tifa or Cloud be your magic caster, and I think that's really cool. I'm not a fan of these designs. They're very boring. This is so dull. These are the most boring outfits I've ever seen. And if you'd like, if there's any requests, I will do character design analyses if you'd like, if I see enough requests. But when I saw these, I thought these were originally like, oh, there must be like extra like fun DLC that you can buy. No, these are the dress sphere outfits, and they are boring. They are tonally flat, and compositionally the form is just not interesting. Even Tifa's, which has these cool, sleeves, it's so dull. What they needed was another color, and the reason why they're so dull is because in character design, black and white are palette cleansing colors. It's very difficult to build a character and make them look interesting with just black and white. You need to have other strong colors. For example, red. If you have white and red, like the white mage. If you have black and then blue, and then with a yellow hat, like a black mage, white mage, black mage always has another color. This is so dull that they only have palette cleanser colors. You've got like a little accent here. It's not enough, and it doesn't help that another accent color is gray. So you have white, black, and gray. It's, I said I wasn't gonna, yeah, if you want me to get into it more, I can do so, but I think these are hideous. They're horrendous, and if you like them, there's nothing wrong if you like them. This is not an insult on you if you like those. I'm just explaining why they are very dull from a character design perspective. I do like mechs. They're very cool. This is what I want to see. I'm interested in the weapons. I want to know how we'll explore them in terms of the story and how you'll get to engage with them more. I think this is going to be interesting. Ruby, our guy. Let's get a closer look at. I think they've done a brilliant job. These do feel like creatures that came from within the Earth trying to protect itself. You know what it's like. Yeah, that is very cool. The creature design is not lacking in this. They've done a great job. It's got this carapace look with the segmented hard components. This is going to snag on something, though. That's going to snag on a power line, I'll tell you now. Very cool. Is this Ultima? That one Ultima? Ultimate weapon? Okay. Let's have a look at our characters here. See what I mean? So this is gameplay, and you see this wool material doesn't have fibers coming off of it catching the light. What I mentioned earlier when we were looking at Cloud, That looked pre-rendered because you could see the fibers coming off of it. Something like that would have a significantly higher performance cost. She's from the hidden village of the Leaf, but we don't see those fibers coming off the wool here. So that's why I think the bit of footage earlier was pre-rendered and this is actual gameplay. You know. Okay, Red 13 was my favorite Final Fantasy character of all time. Still is. One of my favorite video game characters of all time, Red 13. He's just awesome. Oh, was that Sephiroth holding the white materia thing? Taunting Cloud, perhaps? There we go. I don't know why Sephiroth's, like, making such a big deal. He already got to plant his kiss on Cloud. Revelation. Okay. And then there's a line, something about Cloud saying, I'm not going to let you down. I'm not sure if that's a stand-in for the developers saying they don't want to let us down. And that they want to do their best, you know. But for a lot of original fans of the original, these remake games are not... They feel hostile towards the original fans, and original fans can feel this was not made for them. And so many people have DM'd and left messages and said, man, I tried really hard to like these, and it's clear it's not made for me. And you know what, whether or not you like these, whether or not you dislike them, you're justified in however you feel, you know. Your life experiences are what they are, your feelings are what they are, you're justified in that. For me, I've tried playing them. It's very hard for me to try to enjoy them because I'm a fan of the original, and the developers were not entirely honest when they launched Remake. Right up until launch, I remember them saying this is an absolute faithful remake, we didn't change anything at all. And then when you start playing it, you see that it's not a faithful remake, it's something else. And you know what? If people are enjoying it, I'm glad to see that. I'd prefer people enjoy and love these games. So I hope you enjoy taking a look at this trailer. If we hit 10,000 views, then I'll do a follow-up episode where I analyze the gameplay trailer. Look, to be honest, I actually like this. I tried Remake and Rebirth. They weren't for me, and I really did give them a fair go. I'm glad people like them. Revelation, though, I feel pretty positively after seeing that. I do feel positively towards that. Anyway, I've got a bunch of other game announcement trailers that I'm going to look at, so I've just got to get back to my game development for a bit, and then I'll upload more episodes later today. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Be well. Hope you enjoy. Take care, and remember, if we hit 10,000 views on this video, I'll do a follow-up on the gameplay trailer. See you around.